My name is Fred Douglas Blankenship III.
What do you do for a living?
I work for Cox WSB-TV, Channel 2 Action News, 4:30 to 7. Woo! Doesn't that sound good? Father's Day means to me, in one simple word, belief. Belief because my dad always believed in me, even in times where I wasn't necessarily sure that I believed in myself. Fred Douglas Blankenship Jr. And anybody who knew him called him Junior. Junior believed in his son, and that still means the world to me. My relationship with my dad was one of those I think typical father-son relationships, I say from the 70s originally. That's how I thought about it, where your dad came in, he said something, and you know what? You did it. All these conversations I have now with my son, my two sons and my daughter now, I'm not sure they quite existed back in 1975 or 1979 and 80 in Fred Douglas Blankenship Jr.'s house. I'm not sure they did. My most cherished memory was of my dad. I remember, I'll take you back to Little League. And to have your dad show up at your Little League game was a really big deal. I mean, a big deal, right? So I'm up, and I hit a double, right? So hit my run over to second base, and I'm on second base, and I look up, and first thing I see, my dad in this brown leather jacket. He's standing up, and I'm on second base looking at my dad, and then all of a sudden, they announce who won like the Little League lottery for that day. And they say, Fred Blankenship. My dad looks around, he smiles, holding a lottery ticket. And I must have been like 9. You know what I thought at 9? I said, I don't think it gets any better than this. Because right now we are both winning. If I could talk to my dad today, first of all, we would talk about the Lakers. Because we were huge Los Angeles Lakers fans, right? But if I could talk to him today, we would talk about love. We would talk about being there for our family. We talk about the important things. My dad passed away when I was 28. And so there's a big portion of my life that when it came to family and growth, where I didn't have a chance to have my dad be the sounding board. And we were going from the relationship from father and son to friends. And I always feel like I was slightly robbed of that part of our relationship. My father passed away at 57 years old. He was a young man. And the last 14 years were painful for him. Talking about double amputee, health issues, painful stuff. And when I look at myself today at the age of 42, and I'm trying to focus on being the healthiest person I can, I'm not just doing that for me. Every single day, he is with me. When I make the right decision when I eat, my dad's making the right decision. I carry him with me. When I'm at the gym and I can't go one more step, Fred Jr. pushes me to make that next step. It's true. I think about that every single day. He's always with me. For him for me to be able to do what I do, and I communicate with people every single morning on Channel 2 Action News, right? It's a conversation. But half the time, I'm having a conversation with my dad. I'm telling him exactly what happened. And when you see a facial expression, I can imagine him reacting to something I'm saying. And I think that's one of the biggest gifts that I can give to myself. Dad and I have a daily conversation. I always take stock about this wonderful city and place I work in because it almost didn't happen. I was supposed to go work in New York City from San Diego. I was going to New York and didn't really necessarily want to go to New York, but I was younger, and if New York calls, you go, right? And then I'm about to sign the paperwork, and they call me up and they say, there's one small thing. We need you to change your name. And they said, we just can't have Blankenship. It's just not gonna work for us. And I thought about it. And, I like my name. I want to keep my name, but they're telling me it won't work. You can change it to something else. It'll be fine. You're in New York. It's a big city. You'll be okay. And I'm sitting there and thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. And I want to say yes, because it's the job of a lifetime, right? And then something nags at me. It said, my name is Fred Douglas Blankenship III. My father was Fred Douglas Blankenship Jr. My grandfather was Fred Douglas Blankenship Sr. And somebody's telling me that I can't have my name. I don't think anybody has the right to tell me I can't have my name. So, I've come to Atlanta, where I've kept my name and worked for the #1 TV station in the top 10 markets in this country. You see how it goes from that to that? It's beautiful. It is beautiful, and I believe my dad gave me the strength to make that happen.